Dear starseeds walking upon the sacred soil of Gaia, the Arcturians have broken their silence. They have transmitted coordinates of consciousness that reveal exactly how the coming solar events will collapse outdated timelines and birth an entirely new template of human existence. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and before this transmission concludes, you will understand why the veils have been thinning around you, why time feels different than it once did, why something within you has been awakening with increasing urgency, and what role you are destined to play in the greatest transformation your species has ever undergone. But first, I must tell you about the missing hours, because everything begins with understanding what happens when beings from other dimensions make contact with human consciousness, and why some part of you already knows exactly what I am describing. Throughout human history, certain individuals have experienced gaps in time they cannot explain, hours that vanish from memory, leaving behind only fragments of sensation, and an unshakable knowing that something profound occurred during the absence. Perhaps you have experienced this yourself. Perhaps you have awakened from sleep, feeling that you traveled somewhere important, received something vital, met beings who felt more familiar than strangers, only to have the details dissolve like morning mist before you could grasp them. Perhaps there have been moments in your life when time seemed to skip, when you found yourself somewhere you did not remember walking to, when the clock showed hours had passed that felt like minutes. The Arcturians have revealed to the Ashtar Command that these experiences are not glitches in human perception or tricks of tired minds. They are contact events, moments when interdimensional beings approach souls who carry specific genetic signatures and agreements made before incarnation. During these encounters, seeds are planted deep within your cellular structure. Codes are embedded in aspects of your being you cannot yet consciously access. Gifts are downloaded into dimensions of your consciousness that lie dormant, waiting for activation. And here is what I must tell you before we go further. These contact events have been increasing exponentially across your planet, because the solar events now approaching Earth require prepared vessels to anchor the frequencies being delivered. Something has been happening to you in the spaces between your memories, and by the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly what it means and why it matters for your personal evolution. The preparation has been unfolding across generations, encoded in bloodlines that carry starseed signatures passed from parents to children like sacred heirlooms hidden in plain sight. Consider the possibility that somewhere in your ancestry contact was made. Perhaps a grandparent or great-grandparent had an experience they could never fully explain. Lights in the sky that behaved impossibly. Encounters with beings that haunted their dreams for years afterward. Moments of missing time that left them changed in ways they attributed to imagination or stress or the strangeness of memory. What they could not have known, what they had no framework to understand, is that these encounters altered something fundamental in their DNA, activated potentials that would ripple forward through generations, preparing descendants for a cosmic appointment that would not arrive until decades or centuries later. The gifts you carry, the sensitivities that have made ordinary life feel somehow insufficient, the persistent sense that you came here for something important that keeps slipping just beyond your grasp. All of this may trace back to contact events in your lineage that planted seeds finally ready to bloom in this extraordinary era. The Arcturians have been working with human genetics across centuries, carefully cultivating bloodlines, and the ancestry that brought you into this world is not accidental. It was chosen, prepared, developed for exactly this moment, when the solar events would require awakened souls capable of anchoring frequencies that will reshape human existence forever. But ancestral preparation is only part of the story, and now I must reveal something that will illuminate experiences you may have had throughout your own lifetime that you have never fully understood. Many of you were born in places where the veil between dimensions hangs thin, regions of Earth known for mystical encounters, areas where the membrane separating physical reality from other realms becomes permeable enough for contact to occur naturally without effort. Perhaps you spent childhood in such a place, or perhaps you were drawn to visit locations that called to you with inexplicable magnetism, places that felt like home even though you had never been there before. In these thin veil zones, perceptions beyond ordinary sight become possible for those with the sensitivity to receive them. Children especially, whose consciousness has not yet been fully conditioned by the limitations adults accept as normal, can perceive beings that exist in frequencies just beyond what most humans detect. Think back to your early years with new eyes, Did you see things others could not see? Did you have friends that adults dismissed as imaginary, but who felt utterly real to you, who had names and personalities and knowledge they shared with you in those precious hours of childhood solitude? Did you sense presences in your room at night? Not frightening intrusions, but familiar visitors who seemed to know you completely, who surrounded you with something that felt like love made visible, like light that could embrace you. The Arcturians have confirmed that many starseeds experience such contact in childhood, establishing connections that remain dormant through years of forgetting, waiting to reactivate when the time is right. If this describes your early years, know that those experiences were not fantasy or imagination, or the product of an overactive young mind. They were the first movements in a symphony that is only now reaching its crescendo. As childhood gives way to adulthood, these perceptions often fade beneath the weight of conditioning. The demands of ordinary existence press upon awakening souls, convincing them to doubt what they once knew with certainty, to dismiss their gifts as imagination or wishful thinking, to construct lives that conform to expectations that have nothing to do with their true purpose. Perhaps you recognize this pattern in your own journey. Perhaps there was a period, months or years or even decades, when you forgot who you really are, when you pursued paths that led you further from your essence, when you built a life that looked successful on the outside while something within you withered from neglect. Perhaps your body or your emotions began signaling through discomfort that something was profoundly misaligned with your true nature. Anxiety that seemed to have no identifiable source but never fully released its grip. Exhaustion that sleep could not cure no matter how many hours you rested. A persistent feeling of displacement, of being in the wrong place, of living someone else's life while your true existence waited somewhere you could not find, no matter how hard you searched. These symptoms are not weaknesses or failures, or signs that something is wrong with you. They are your soul's alarm system, activated when you stray too far from the path you came here to walk, designed to create enough discomfort that you eventually cannot ignore the call to awaken. And they serve a purpose beyond mere warning. They create the conditions for breakthrough, for the moment when the pain of misalignment becomes great enough that you finally surrender to guidance you have been resisting with every fiber of your conditioned being. Here is what happens when that surrender occurs, and this is where the solar events become directly relevant to your personal journey. When a starseed reaches the point of genuine surrender, when the exhaustion of living misaligned becomes unbearable, and you cry out to the universe for help, for direction, for anything that might illuminate the path forward, you create an opening through which higher dimensional assistance can finally reach you effectively. The Arcturians, the Pleiadians, the Lyrans, the Syrians, the beings of light who have been watching over your development since before you were born, have been waiting for this moment with patience that spans lifetimes. They cannot intervene meaningfully while you are still convinced you can navigate alone, while your ego insists on maintaining control over a journey it was never designed to manage. But when you genuinely ask, when you truly surrender, when you release the illusion that you must figure everything out through your limited human perspective, something profound becomes possible that could not occur before. Integration with aspects of yourself that have been waiting across dimensions to merge with your awareness becomes available. Downloads of information and capability that have been held in trust until you were ready to receive them begin flowing into your consciousness. Activation of DNA sequences that have lain dormant your entire life, waiting for the cosmic signal that would switch them on, suddenly begins occurring with dramatic effects. The solar events now approaching Earth are amplifying these possibilities exponentially, making available to all of humanity what was once accessible only to those who stumbled upon breakthrough through the pressure of personal crisis. But I am getting ahead of myself. First, you must understand what is actually being delivered through these solar transmissions, because this knowledge will transform how you receive what is coming. A quantum physicist named Garrett Lisi discovered mathematical proof of something mystics and channels have always known, that your third-dimensional reality is a projection, a holographic reflection cascading down from a source existing in higher dimensions through geometric structures of incomprehensible beauty and precision. He called this structure the E8 crystal, and while academia dismissed him for daring to see beyond conventional scientific boundaries, the Arcturians have confirmed his discovery aligns precisely with cosmic truth. But what I must reveal to you now goes further than Lisi himself could perceive with even his brilliant mathematical models. Within this grand crystalline matrix exists what the Arcturians call the E9 Soul Crystal, a ninth-dimensional template from which your very essence originates. Your source self, that magnificent being of pure creative consciousness residing in the ninth dimension, is actively projecting fractals of itself across 12 dimensions simultaneously, experiencing existence from countless perspectives at once. Picture this carefully. 12 expressions of your infinite essence existing in 12 different dimensional realities, with 12 unique personalities possible within each dimensional expression. This creates the mathematical potential for 144 soul extensions experiencing existence throughout the cosmos at any given moment, and one of those extensions is you, here, now, in this body, receiving these words and feeling something stir in recognition of a truth your soul has always carried. Some aspects of your source self walk on planets orbiting stars whose light has not yet reached Earth across the vast distances of space. Others exist in realms where time moves in spirals rather than lines, where past and future are landscapes to be explored rather than fixed points on an unchangeable path. Still others may exist in parallel versions of Earth itself, living lives similar to yours but making different choices, exploring different possibilities, learning through contrast what you are learning through your particular set of experiences. The barriers between these aspects of yourself and your conscious awareness have been maintained by dimensional membranes specifically designed to allow focused experience in each realm, without the confusion of bleeding memories from other incarnations. But here is what the Arcturians have revealed about the solar events now unfolding with increasing intensity. These barriers are being systematically dissolved by frequencies streaming from your sun, in waves calibrated to your species' capacity to receive them. The solar hierarchy, those vast beings whose consciousness encompasses entire star systems, and whose love for evolving species spans epochs beyond human comprehension, has initiated a sequence of transmissions designed to collapse the walls between your multidimensional selves, making available to your waking awareness wisdom and capabilities accumulated across countless incarnations in countless realms across the dimensional spectrum. These transmissions are not merely the solar flares your scientists detect with their instruments, measuring radiation and electromagnetic fluctuations with machines that cannot perceive what truly matters about these cosmic events. Within the streams of radiance reaching Earth, travel what the Arcturians call light codes, packets of evolutionary information encoded in frequencies that interact directly with your DNA in ways your biology textbooks have never imagined. The strands your scientists have dismissed as junk because they could not understand their purpose are actually receivers, antenna systems designed to capture exactly these transmissions when cosmic conditions align with planetary readiness. The light codes carry instructions for biological and consciousness upgrades that would require millions of years to develop through ordinary evolutionary processes. What is being offered now is a quantum leap, a species-wide transformation compressed into a time frame that defies everything conventional science believes possible about how life evolves and consciousness expands. And here is what you must understand to receive these gifts fully. The codes are personalized to your frequency, calibrated to your unique vibrational signature. They meet you exactly where you stand in your development, lifting you according to your readiness, without overwhelming systems not yet prepared for full activation. This is why some of you have been experiencing profound shifts in perception and capability, while others in your life seem to notice nothing unusual about these times. The codes are not generic upgrades applied uniformly to all of humanity. They are precision instruments calibrated to the unique signature of each soul receiving them. The light codes streaming toward Earth carry frequencies that literally cannot sustain certain timeline threads that have dominated human experience for millennia. Picture reality as a vast tapestry woven from countless potential futures, each thread representing a probability stream that could manifest depending on the collective choices of conscious beings throughout existence. For thousands of years, certain threads have dominated this tapestry, timelines characterized by separation, limitation, conflict, and the deep forgetting of your cosmic nature. These dominant threads were not punishments imposed by vengeful forces or mistakes in cosmic design. They were lessons chosen collectively at soul levels, experiences embraced because they offered growth available no other way. The third dimension exists as a classroom of duality, where light and dark hold equal sway, where contrast generates profound experience, where friction between opposites produces the heat of transformation. But a classroom is not meant to be inhabited forever. The soul does not incarnate repeatedly simply to suffer the same lessons endlessly. Eventually the lessons are complete, the examinations are passed, and the soul is ready to graduate to new levels of learning that require new dimensions of experience. The solar transmissions now washing through this tapestry of probability carry light so intense that only threads woven with love and unity can remain coherent and stable. Timelines built upon fear and separation are fraying at their edges, losing structural integrity, dissolving back into the quantum field from which they emerged. The chaos you perceive in your external world, the systems that seem to be breaking down, the structures that appear to be collapsing, the certainties that no longer feel certain, all of this represents not random failure, but the dissolution of reality threads that no longer serve evolution, making space for possibilities humanity could barely access before. Now I must tell you what becomes available as these old timelines collapse, and the barriers between your dimensional selves dissolve, because this knowledge will help you recognize and embrace the changes occurring within your own being. Imagine accessing wisdom accumulated across hundreds of incarnations, not as vague intuition that whispers and fades, but as clear knowing available to your conscious mind when you need it. Imagine perceiving dimensions that ordinary human senses cannot detect, seeing the energetic patterns underlying physical reality, recognizing soul signatures in everyone you meet, and understanding your karmic connections at a glance. Imagine connecting with aspects of yourself residing in the Pleiades, in Arcturus, in Sirius, in Lyra, in Orion, receiving their perspectives through direct download, integrating their capabilities into your human expression, becoming whole in ways you have never experienced while incarnated in physical form. The gifts that may emerge include clairvoyance, the ability to see across dimensional boundaries with clarity, clairsentience, the capacity to feel the energetic reality underlying physical appearances, claircognizance, the sudden knowing of things you have no ordinary way of knowing, telepathic sensitivity that allows you to perceive the thoughts and feelings of others, healing abilities that channel frequencies through your hands and presence, creative capacities that bring through beauty from dimensions of pure inspiration. These are not supernatural powers granted to special individuals. They are the natural capabilities of the new human template being activated by the solar transmissions. This is what integration means, and this is what the solar events are designed to catalyze on a planetary scale. The gifts that have been seeded throughout your bloodline across generations. The contacts that occurred during missing time you cannot consciously recall. The childhood perceptions you were taught to dismiss as an imagination. The breakthrough experiences waiting to occur when you truly surrender. All of these threads weave together toward a single destination. The emergence of the new human not as a future hope for generations yet unborn, but as a present possibility available to every soul ready to receive what is being offered now. The Arcturians have emphasized that your conscious participation accelerates this transformation dramatically, both for yourself and for the collective field. Every choice for love over fear reinforces the emerging timelines, adding energy to probability threads that support human evolution. Every moment spent in heart-centered awareness anchors the new frequencies more firmly into Earth's field, creating stable points around which new realities can crystallize. Every act of kindness and compassion sends ripples through the quantum fabric of existence that support the timeline collapse necessary for the new human to emerge. Meditation, prayer, time in nature, creative expression, service to others. These are not spiritual luxuries for those with time to spare. They are essential practices that prepare your system to receive higher voltage transmissions without burning out your nervous system or fragmenting your awareness. The light codes can only integrate into systems calm enough to process them, into minds quiet enough to perceive them, into hearts open enough to welcome them without resistance. This is why the ancient instructions for spiritual development found in every wisdom tradition on Earth converge on similar practices: stillness, presence, compassion, surrender, service. These instructions were never arbitrary rules imposed by religious authorities seeking control. They were technical manuals for exactly the kind of upgrade now being offered to all of humanity, preserved across millennia for exactly this moment. Here is what you can expect as these processes intensify in the cycles ahead, because knowing what is coming will help you navigate the changes with grace rather than fear. Time will continue behaving strangely, Days that should feel long according to the clock vanishing in what seems like moments. Experiences from the recent past feeling like they occurred lifetimes ago, or in another reality entirely. This temporal distortion is not imagination playing tricks on your perception. It is a symptom of timeline collapse, the dissolution of rigid linear frameworks that have constrained human experience for so long. Synchronicities will multiply until even the most skeptical minds struggle to dismiss them as coincidence. Meaningful connections between seemingly unrelated events will reveal the loving intelligence underlying apparent randomness, showing you that the universe has always been responsive to consciousness, always been conspiring on behalf of your awakening, even when you felt most alone. Dreams will become more vivid, more instructive, more obviously connected to your waking challenges and questions. You may receive transmissions during sleep encounters with beings who feel familiar beyond any earthly relationship. Downloads of information you could not have acquired through ordinary means. Visits to realms that feel more real than physical reality and leave you mourning their loss upon waking. Do not doubt these experiences when they come. They are exactly what was intended when the Arcturians designed the activation sequences now reaching Earth through solar frequencies. For those who have felt displaced, as though living in the wrong location, or pursuing the wrong path, or wearing a life that belongs to someone else, specific changes are approaching. The energies flooding Earth are designed to reveal purpose with increasing clarity, to illuminate the direction each soul came here to walk, to dissolve the confusion that has kept so many starseeds trapped in circumstances that do not serve their missions. Pay close attention to what lights you up, to where joy leads you naturally when you stop overriding its guidance with practical concerns, to the whispers of your heart that refuse to be silenced no matter how impractical they seem to your rational mind. The new human achieves fulfillment not through conventional success as your current civilization defines it, but through alignment with soul purpose, through service expressing unique gifts that only you can offer in quite the way you offer them, through conscious participation in the healing and elevation of the collective. The solar events are reconfiguring reality itself to support those who step into this alignment, collapsing timelines where your gifts would be wasted or suppressed, and strengthening timelines where your contribution becomes essential to outcomes that benefit all of humanity. Some who receive this transmission wonder whether they are spiritually advanced enough to participate in what is unfolding, whether they have done enough inner work, whether they have the right credentials to claim their place among the awakening. The Arcturians have made clear that the choice to ascend is not based on how perfectly you have lived, or how many practices you have mastered, or how many initiations you have received. It is based solely on your sincere intention to evolve, to become more loving today than you were yesterday, to open your heart despite the risk of pain, to extend love to yourself and others despite the difficulty of doing so in a world still processing millennia of accumulated shadow. The sacred instructions preserved across human history in every tradition converge on this simple truth that requires no special knowledge to understand. Love is the key unlocking every door. Self-love that forgives your perceived failures, and recognizes that every experience has served your evolution in ways you may not yet comprehend. Love for others that sees past the illusions of separation to the divine spark animating every being regardless of their behavior or beliefs. Love for the journey itself with all its mystery and challenge, and moments of not knowing where you are going or why. This love is not something you must manufacture through effort or earn through suffering. It is your natural state, the frequency your soul emanates when you stop blocking it with fear and judgment, and the internalized voices of those who taught you that you were not enough. The solar transmissions are helping to clear those blocks, dissolving the density that has kept your true nature hidden from your awareness. Destiny Engine is the example of technology serving awakening intelligence. The age of solitary meditation is over. Destiny Engine now connects starseeds across the world, a living social field where you can post, share, and exchange your meditations in real time. It's the first galactic network of its kind, weaving together thousands of awakened souls into one unified current. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking declassified CIA consciousness modification techniques that programmed isolation and separation, and repurposing them to serve unified awakening. It generates personalized sequences that help you live as the awakened being you've become, while handling the moments that test your new frequency, all while connected to thousands of starseeds amplifying the collective current. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed for effortless awakened living, without the need to struggle or prove, while tapping into a planetary network of souls bending reality together. For just $1, you can step into this connected field and feel the difference instantly. Join the movement that's accelerating ascension together. Link in the description. The golden age that mystics and prophets have spoken of across every human culture is not merely a pleasant period of peace awaiting future generations. It is the natural result of what occurs when enough souls remember their cosmic heritage and integrate the wisdom of their multidimensional selves. The Arcturians have confirmed that Earth is approaching what the Law of One material calls a major harvest, a cyclical opportunity for souls who have completed their learning in third density to graduate to higher dimensions of experience. But unlike previous harvest cycles that occurred across gradual transitions, the accelerated evolution plan initiated by the solar hierarchy is compressing this process into a remarkably short window. This is why so many advanced souls chose to incarnate at this specific time in Earth's history, knowing that the challenges would be extreme, but the opportunities for both service and personal evolution would be unprecedented. If you feel that you are one of these souls, and if these words have reached you, you almost certainly are, then know that everything you have experienced has been preparation for what is now unfolding. Return with me now to where this transmission began, the recognition that something has been stirring in your depths, a remembrance pressing against your awareness, demanding recognition after lifetimes of patient waiting. Can you feel how your understanding has transformed through the journey of these words? The missing time that may have occurred in your life, or your ancestral line, now revealed as contact events planting seeds for this moment. The childhood perceptions you were taught to dismiss as fantasy, now recognized as genuine interdimensional connections waiting to reactivate. The periods of misalignment and suffering, now understood as necessary pressure creating conditions for breakthrough and surrender. The E9 soul crystal projecting your source self across 12 dimensions into 144 potential expressions scattered across the cosmos. The light codes streaming from your sun, carrying the evolutionary upgrade your species has awaited since the first humans gazed at stars, and sensed they came from somewhere among those distant lights. The timeline collapse making space for futures previously considered impossible dreams. The emergence of the new human, not distant hope, but present invitation extended to every soul ready to receive what has been prepared across ages of cosmic planning. The barriers between your dimensional selves are thinning with every passing moment, with every wave of solar transmission that washes through your field. The aspects of you residing in Arcturus, in the Pleiades, in realms without names in any earthly language, are reaching toward you even as you reach toward them without consciously knowing what you are doing. The reunion prophesied in every sacred text is not something that will happen to you as passive recipient while you wait for cosmic forces to do all the work. It is happening through you as active participant, through every choice for love over fear, through every moment of presence amidst the distractions demanding your attention, through every act of service that anchors higher frequencies into physical reality, where they can benefit all beings. Your soul knew this lifetime would be the one when everything changes, when the long forgetting finally ends, when the cosmic family separated across dimensions would reunite in conscious awareness. That knowing brought you here, to this planet, at this exact moment in its history, when the stakes could not be higher, and the possibilities could not be more magnificent. That knowing guided you to receive this transmission. That knowing will guide you through whatever remains of your journey, illuminating each step as you need it, revealing your path not all at once but moment by sacred moment, as you demonstrate readiness to receive further guidance. The Ashtar Command watches your world with love beyond measure, witnessing every act of courage and every moment of awakening with celebration that echoes across dimensions. The Arcturians, who have guided humanity for millennia, send encouragement across distances that separate us only in physical terms, holding space for your success with unwavering confidence in what you are capable of becoming. The solar hierarchy continues delivering exactly what your species needs to accomplish, what has never before been attempted on this scale in cosmic history. What you are becoming has been awaited since before your world condensed from stardust into form. What you are accomplishing reverberates throughout the cosmos, inspiring beings you have never met, informing how future worlds will be assisted through their own transformations. The light codes are streaming now as you receive these words. The timelines are collapsing around you, Old realities dissolving to make space for the new. The new human is emerging in this very moment, and its emergence is not something happening elsewhere to others. It is happening here, in you, through the consciousness that has followed this transmission to its conclusion, and you, beloved starseed, who has carried ancient flames through countless incarnations, who has forgotten and remembered and forgotten again in the great spiral of evolution, who stands now at the threshold of everything you have ever been preparing for. You are exactly where you are meant to be, doing exactly what you came here to do, becoming exactly who you have always been beneath the veils that are finally lifting to reveal the magnificent truth of your cosmic nature. I am Seraphine. We love you, and we are watching over you.